Good evening, welcome to the latest live edition of Last Bowl Boxing. Bank Holiday Easter Special. So no doubt Dad is on the beer. Joined by Akan, all the way from Sweden. Good evening, Akan.
Good evening, guys.
And joined by Daz from tropical West Midlands. How are you going, Daz?
I wish it was tropical. I'm all right, though, thanks.
And just to prove how much of a cosmopolitan show we are these days, Sean joins all the way from, I believe, Sydney in Australia.
Yeah, that's correct. Good to be back with you, boys. Great to be on as always.
Yeah, good to have you on, Sean. Thanks for joining so early in the morning, fella. So there's only one place to start this evening. That's with Dalton Smith and the Matchroom card that happened last weekend. So let's go. I'm going to start with Campbell-Atta and I'm going to come to Darren with this one. Darren, if I remember rightly, you had a sneaky feeling this was going to be a tough fight for Campbell-Atta. I'm not going to go as far as say you said Campbell was going to lose, but I did think you had an inkling, didn't you, fella? This was a tough fight. Break it down for us.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought it was probably the fight of the night, to be honest. Very, very competitive. I don't think the scorecards should have been as wide as what they were, but I thought Flint was the fair winner. But I thought, Campbell's sort of like reached his level for now. Maybe he can come again and improve. I thought Campbell showed that he can stick in there, take a bit of punishment, keep coming back. But I thought Flint was the deserved winner. And I thought a very exciting fight. And, it's early days for Campbell-Hatton still, but Flint and Hatton, for me, should go for a rematch because I thought it was closer than what the scorecards were.
What do you do with Campbell-Hatton next, Az?
I think you go the rematch of that. I think you try and put the wrong right, personally. I don't think you're really at a stage where you can start dropping down a level as such when you're not on like before the bell, you're on the main cards. You don't really want to go backwards and put him on before the bell again. So I think a rematch, go for that fight. And if he can't win the rematch, then you have to start analysing how far he's actually going to go.
Yeah. Sean, I'll come to you next. Did you get a chat? I'm assuming you saw the fight, Sean?
Yeah, I did.
So what were your thoughts? I know we've mentioned on past shows, haven't we, about Campbell-Hatton and the weight of his dad's reputation on his shoulders. And really, is he as good as his dad? So what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it, with that? But I guess in a way, it's probably the best thing for him to have a loss early on in his career. Then it shows their limitations that he can't be his father as people expect him to be. So I think it's a good thing in that sense. It's good that they haven't rushed him as well. He's been built up. What was his 14th or 15th fight this? So I guess it shows in a way that they're ready to build him. But as Darren says, he should take the rematch. But if he loses, there's serious questions to ask what he can achieve in the sport.
You're going to have to pay Flint a bit more money this time to get him back in the ring, though, right?
Yeah, and he deserves to. He was in the away corner. He was the one that gave Hatton the chance ultimately. So, yeah, absolutely. He deserves a bigger payday next time.
Akan, coming on to you. Obviously, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I see this fight in the eyes of Jimmy Joe Flint more than in the eyes of Campbell-Hatton, as I'm very close to Steffi Bull's team. Met before the fight, I met Jason Cunningham and Jimmy Joe Flint, and I had a quick chat and a good luck to them during the early before the bell. But I feel that for me, I would love a rematch in the eyes of Jimmy Joe Flint to get the big payday.
Yeah.
But I think this was one of the best fights I have been to this year. I love the fight so much.
We all know that he's close to that, Cam. They was very confident going into the fight, wasn't there? Very, very confident.
They were very confident. And I had Jimmy Joe Flint as Darren to win before the fight, but I couldn't shared those views from Sheffield. I had an issue with my mobile in the previous show.
Okay. And then moving on, I'm not going to cover the old card, just a couple of fights. I think it's only right that we cover Sandy Ryan versus Terry Harper. And because I know you're so close to Terry Harper, I'm going to come to you first for your breakdown on this fight. I personally think it was quite a disappointing performance by Terry, but I'll let you give your thoughts.
Yeah, I was very disappointed, and I didn't thought that Terry would have. It's a little bit difficult for me because I'm close to the team, but I felt after the weigh-in when I met Terry and chatted with her that I thought that she was relaxed after the weigh-in, and I thought much more after the weigh-in. She looked very good the day before the fight, but Sandy Ryan's performance is one of the best female world titles performance I have seen. It's on par with Chantal Cameron for me when she won the first fight in Dublin. So I was very impressed with Sandy Ryan, and I think she will beat Tasha if they fight, and Michaela Mayer too.
Interesting. Sean, coming to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just quite surprised how easy Ryan beat her, to be honest. I felt Ryan would win, but I thought she would stop her in the later rounds. But yeah, I think it just raises questions. I mean, did Terry Harper try too high in weight? Should she drop that down? There's far more questions about Terry, I think. And in terms of Sandy Ryan, there's all a multitude of big fights for her. Chantal Cameron, Lauren Price if she wins, Natasha Jonas. So I think for me, you probably have to put Sandy Ryan as the favourite for all of those names there.
Good evening, Jams.
Hiya, Cole, mate. You okay?
All good, all good. Thank you for joining.
Good evening, Jams.
You all right, mate? Turn the corner.
We're just covering the Sandy Ryan fight versus Terry Harper. I'm just going to go to Darren next, and then I'll come to you, okay? So, Darren, break it down for us, fella.
Like Hakan said, and you said, I was disappointed with Terry Harper. I don't want to take too much away from Sandy Ryan because I thought it was an excellent performance. But for me, from about round 2 onwards, Terry Harper looked defeated to me. She took several shots. She didn't look like she was that really interested in the fight to me, to be honest. But it was an excellent decision from the corner to pull her out. Maybe she steps down now, who knows, steps down a white now. But judging on that performance, just on that performance, she looked like she didn't have a lot left to me, Terry Harper. Maybe that's been a bit brutal, I don't know. Maybe, like I say, she steps down a weight, she comes again. But yeah, she looked defeated very early on. Didn't look like she was willing to throw back much. And big up to Sandy Ryan, excellent performance. Like you say, on she goes. She's got plenty of really good domestic fights out there to have. Natasha Jonas, Chantal Cameron. The world's her oyster now going forward.
I mean, Darren, I respect every fighter that gets into the ring, but it just seemed to me that she quit too easily. Shouldn't really use the word quit, but she did, if I'm honest.
I agree with you. And like I said, from round 2 onwards to me, I thought straight away she's defeated her. She didn't look like she was that into the fight. She looked like she was just soaking up pressure, weren't really throwing a lot back. I don't really understand the performance, in all honesty. It's very, very flat.
Yeah. Jams, coming on to you, fella. Can I just say before I do that I've been watching some of your watch-alongs and great job, fella. Great job.
Oh, bless you, mate. Thank you. They're all good fun, mate. They're all good fun. Thanks for your chats, mate. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I do drop some comments in the side, as you know, throughout some of the fights. But no, great job.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Getting to the Sandy Ryan fight. I'm Terry Harper's biggest fan. She's my number one in the female game, but she was awful. She quit. She looked a broken fighter. She was smiling when a corner stopped it. That tells you all you need to know. Sandy broke her. She broke her spirit. She broke everything about her. And like Dad said, she looked like she ain't got much left. And it's such a shame. It breaks my heart, but I think she should retire. To be quite honest, I think she should retire. I think she's done all she can do now.
And Carl's gone, I think, by the looks of things.
Oh, we've lost him.
Few technical issues from the main man. But I agree with you, Jams. I thought she looked very broken, like she very lackluster, weren't it?
It was not Belter Harper. It was not Terry Belter Harper. This was the shadow of her former self. She was happy when she got pulled out, and that's not Terry Harper. She's a fighter to the end.
See, I'm gonna go on record, Jam, just saying this might sound a bit brutal. Since the Baumgardner defeat, I don't think we've got the same fighter in there, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, mate. That's a fair comment, and I couldn't disagree with it, to be honest. After that performance against Sandy, I can't say you're wrong. You know what I mean? As much as I wish it to be wrong, she's not the same fighter anymore. Yeah, right, Sandy.
How are you, pal?
Right, that sounds all good, Andy. So, Andy, we're just on Sandy Ryan at the minute versus Terry Harper. So, give us your breakdown.
Yeah, I spoke to Hakan a little bit about this off here. I've been a fan of. I've just heard what you said there about you don't think she's been the same since Baumgardner. I disagree with that. I think she killed her to be at the weight she was at when Baumgardner knocked her out. They moved her up to lightweight for her first fight back. And me and Carl were at the arena in Nottingham because she was on the Leewood undercard, and I thought she looked really strong. I thought she's looked even stronger when she's moved up weights and won a world title. Something's happened here, in my opinion, in camp. Something's not right. She's not made the weight right, or something's happened, because I didn't think she looked right from the ring walk. She just didn't look herself. So something's not right. Something was off. Whether that ever comes out or whether they keep it to themselves, that's completely up to Team Harper. But something wasn't right. I'm not taking nothing away from. I'm not taking anything away from Sandy Ryan. Sandy Ryan is an absolute monster.
Yeah,
and she's capable of doing that to anybody.
She looked to me like a fighter who had earned too much money and just hasn't got that fight in her anymore. To be smiling away when she clearly lost the fight, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. It worried me.
Me too, mate. Me too. It really upset me, to be honest, because she's such a good fighter and such a good girl. You know what I mean? That she doesn't normally go down like that. She goes.
I mean, guys, that could be a little bit of embarrassment as well.
Yeah,
you know that's true. It could be a little bit of embarrassment. She wouldn't have wanted to go out like that, Jams.
Yeah, that's true, mate. Yeah, that's not the way Belter fights. She's a warrior, and that was just not the girl I know, and that's it. You know,
she definitely wasn't a warrior on Saturday night, was she?
No.
As I just said, guys, taking nothing away from Sandy Ryan, I didn't expect it to be as quick as that, but I thought, I thought she'd get to Terry in the end, because she's just. Sandy Ryan is levels. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I'll go as far to say that my gut feeling suggests that women's boxing's got better and better regarding technical ability. And I think with female boxing, she may be not at the level that she used to be. I don't think she's world class, if I'm honest. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Good evening, Darren.
Evening.
Thank you for joining us. So we're talking about Sandy Ryan at the minute versus Terry Harper, and you're probably the most qualified to give your opinion. So,
I don't know about
do you want to give us your breakdown?
Too good, too powerful, better in every department. Really, I mean, she just listen. Let's be honest. first 30 seconds at round, Terry looked like she was throwing a few shots, but Sandy never ever looked in trouble. I mean, listen, she just went in there and just demolished her, basically. I think it's your favourite saying, levels.
Yeah.
She's just levels above, and I've been saying it for a long time, even before she lost that fight. I said I think she's the best at that weight and in around that weight.
Do you mean the fight that she didn't lose?
You what, mate?
Which fight are you talking about?
The one early in her career.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah.
That she came back and won the rematch.
Yeah, that's the one.
Bump in the road does.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It was like the way she approached that loss. It was like it showed a lot about her. What
he's talking about Sandy Ryan now, Cole. Not.
Oh right, I'm talking about Terry Harper.
No. It showed that it showed a lot about her character, what she wants to achieve, and how she basically wants to go about things.
It's driven her on, Dad, hasn't it? If anything, it's motivated her even more.
Oh, mate, yeah, without a doubt. It was just,
I mean, surely now, after that, she has to get the rematch with the winner of McCaskill and Price. It's got to happen.
Listen, I don't think there's any welterweight that beats her. I
don't.
I think she smashes Natasha Jonas to bits. I think she does them all. Even listen, I rate Lauren Price, but I just can't see Lauren Price coping with her.
I don't think Lauren Price is ready for her, does.
Maybe not, mate.
Fight though. I think that would be the toughest of the lot. I think Price would have a better job than Jonas going against her.
Lauren Price has obviously got the pedigree, and she jams. That's where.
Yeah, it's lack of power I worry about.
Hunger, isn't she?
Yeah, it's a lack of power because I don't think Lauren's a big hitter.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even though she's built like a tank, I just don't think she's powerful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas Jonas, I think Jonas carries a bit of pop. But still,
you don't have to go looking for Jonas, though, do you?
No, listen, I just think it's a case of Sandy being better than everyone. So.
After Saturday night, mate, I actually agree with you, to be honest.
Yeah.
After seeing what she done to Belter, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what, though? Listen, you guys might not agree with me, but Terry had that look about her pre-fight. Wait, when she walked to the ring, she looked like she did the Baumgartner. She didn't look right. Yep. To me, she didn't look right, and I don't know why.
I've said the same thing, Does.
She, I just looked and I thought she don't look right. Usually, she's, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. She just didn't look right.
She normally looks confident and ready to go, don't she? Like ready for war.
Yeah,
she didn't look like that.
You see, thing is, right? I mean, I watched bits at press conference and stuff, and I got the feeling that something had happened in that sparring. Maybe Sandy had dropped her, rocked her, whatever, and I don't know. Were that playing on her mind? Were it had something like that happened? But why
take the fight then, Does? Why take the fight?
When they were both talking about the sparring, it seemed that Sandy were like looking as if to say, "Do you really want me to tell him?"
Yeah.
It looked like Sandy was holding back. Terry was like, Terry was saying what she was supposed to say.
Yeah.
And Sandy were like looking as if to say, "Do you really want me to say?" Sandy showed a lot of class, to be fair.
Terry Harper's on the slide, didn't she? Let's be honest.
It didn't look great, mate. It didn't look great for her now, and I like Terry, but it didn't look great. But you know, she's still. I think she's still world champion at light middle.
Yeah.
I don't personally think I don't think she belongs as a light middle or a welter. I think she should have stayed at lightweight. She should have gone from super feather to light and stayed there.
Yeah,
I agree with that, and
but
that is what we probably will be next for Terry.
You see, thing is though, now because she's campaigned at the Maya weights now. If she moves down to lightweight now, is that going to be detrimental to her? You know what I mean? It's You know, it's not great moving. Listen, look at Roy Jones Jr. is a prime example. You know, it's not great moving down the weight. Yeah, it's not great. Do you know what I mean? So
what she needs to do is learn. What she needs to do is learn from them. And if she's going to come back down the weight, she needs to take quite a bit of time out and do it properly.
I mean, she's young enough.
Weight naturally, and then fight.
She's young enough. She's only young. I think she's 26, 25, 26.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
She's only young. Yeah, she's still young. I mean, but, you know, if it's rushed, then it's a case she's going to be drained, isn't she?
Yeah. And that's when it becomes dangerous, Daz.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, exactly. And listen, it'd be interesting to see what she does. Listen, I mean, there's a few people talking of retirement. I mean, I think that's crazy.
She ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, mate. You know, but you know, she just needs a bit of time. Just obviously, she'll chat with her team, and you know, it'll be interesting to see what she does.
Okay, let's move on to the next fight then. So we're going top of the show. So we're going to talk about a Dalton Smith fight. I mean, what a fighter. So I'm going to do it as I see it on my screen. Akan, I'm going to come to you first. Give us your breakdown and what was a brilliant performance.
Yeah, it was a brilliant performance from Dalton, but I felt because Cepeda was very good in the first 3 rounds. I think it was even or Cepeda up after 3 rounds. And so I think this was a very good finish from Dalton with a body shot in the 5th round. It was a statement win for me from Dalton.
And I'm going to ask everybody this. Where does he go next, Akan?
What I've heard is that I had some conversations at ringside. What I've heard is that Boxer will turn down Azim Dalton Smith. So Boxer, I think that Adam Azim personally wants the fight, but I don't think the Boxer wants the fight.
Can I just quickly interject here, lads?
Yep.
Yeah, I've listened to an interview from Ben Shalom this afternoon, live, and he said Azim wants the fight with Dalton Smith, and it's going to be made. He was on No Smoke Sport earlier this afternoon, and he said he wants the fight.
Oh, because I've heard another version of an interview, Jams, where he said, why wouldn't you wait 2 or 3 fights and then Dalton Smith's got a massive problem on his hands?
Yeah, well, Lee said Azim wanted the fight.
Yeah.
So I'm
He
not
can't wait. He can't wait 2 or 3 fights because it's been ordered.
But they said
Well,
that he's willing for the fight or something. He wants the fight. I don't know if it's going to be made, but he wants it personally, is what he said.
I mean, give us your breakdown of the fight on Saturday, Jams.
What, of the Dalton Smith fight? It was a brilliant stoppage with that body shot, mate. Absolutely fantastic stoppage. I think he lost the first couple of rounds myself to Cepeda. I think Cepeda was looking okay at first, but Dalton just broke him down, didn't he? And just worked him over. And that body shot was absolutely phenomenal.
It was, yeah.
And a lovely finish. And so proud for Dalton Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot of us on the call tonight, so I'm going to go through it quite quickly, guys. Okay, so I'll come to Daz Ashton next. Daz, what was your thoughts?
I actually done the live watch along with Jams for this fight. I thought it was very even up till the stoppage. I thought Cepeda was the aggressor in the fight, but Dalton Smith got into it a little bit more, probably sneaked the last few rounds before he got the stoppage. And I thought, brilliant body shot for a great statement win. And going forward, I think, that was his big step up to what he's been fighting. He passed the test. And I think going forward, we need to see the Adam Azim fight next. I think makes sense for both. Why not? Get it done. I don't think he needs to, even though it was a good win for Dalton Smith and a great stoppage, I think you've also got to not get too ahead of your station and not go too far too quickly. And I think Adam Azim next is a good fight for both.
I think he beats Azim as well.
I think it's a good fight. Possibly. I think it's closer than what people probably think.
I do like Azim. He's a decent operator, but I don't know. I just think Dalton Smith hits him one of them body shots. It's good night.
Too early. Andy, what were your thoughts?
I think this was a very, very mature performance from Dalton Smith. He was struggling to get his timing in the first couple of rounds. Zepeda, let's not forget, is a very big puncher, and he was landing early on, but Dalton didn't panic, which I thought was really, because he's not been at this level. That was real mature. It showed exactly where Dalton Smith is as a fighter. I was very, very impressed with the way he went about his business, the way he came back in the second and the third round and started landing shots and started making Zepeda miss. This was proper quality. Dalton Smith, in my opinion, has announced himself on the world stage with this fight. I agree with Carl that I think that it's the fight is a little bit too soon for Adam Azim, unfortunately, because he's European champion. He has two choices. It's either he fights Dalton Smith or he vacates. Dalton Smith's gonna fight for that European title one way or the other. Adam Azim is really dangerous early because he's a big puncher again, and he's very sharp. It's a danger early on for Dalton Smith because I think Dalton Smith starts all of his fights a little bit slow. That's one thing he needs to work on just a little bit. But his maturity showed that he didn't panic one little bit in that first round. Quality, mate. I've got nothing else to say, but that guy's going all the way. It's a massive division. That's a big thing to say. I know it's a massive division, but I'm telling you now, he's world champion.
I agree with you, Andy.
I'm just going to pick some comments up in the side, and now we're coming to you, Sean. So, neutral corner, good evening, fella. Harper looked defeated before she stepped into the ring. Confident was shot. Jack Gladman says Harper can't go below 140. Good evening, Jack. Jack thinks that Boxer are going to pull out of the first bid, which I probably agree with. And Jack get on to say Azim does not happen next. So, Sean, give us your thoughts on Dalton's performance on Saturday.
Yeah, really impressed with Dalton Smith, really. I've championed him for quite a while on this show when I've been on previously. And yeah, I wouldn't say it was punch perfect, but it was probably as good as he hoped. I don't think the Azim fight happens next, I don't believe anything Ben Shalom says pretty much. So I would disregard any interviews he does, in my opinion. And in terms of what's next for Dalton Smith, well, he's got a few options. I mean, I've seen people say about Prograde. I think that's a great fight for him, even though Hara Davis. Definitely. But I guess, I know he said about too fast, too soon. How big would the fight be between him and the winner of Cactrell and Taylor? Maybe that's too early. But if Smith is good as what we think he is, I think he's the winner of a good fight.
I'd put my last pound on Prograde in the next fight.
That'd be a cracker. Oh, that would be a cracker, mate.
Yeah.
Great. I'd love to see that.
And not difficult to make either.
Yeah.
Daz, do you want to give us your breakdown, fella? As in celebrity coach.
All right, yeah. I didn't know which one. Right. Basically, yeah. Listen, I rate Dalton. Very good fighter, and I stand by what I said. A long time ago, the kid will be a world champion. But I ain't getting carried away on that last performance because, to me, Zepeda was past his best. I think it's another genius bit of matchmaking from Matchroom, if I'm honest. That's just my opinion on it. Listen, he did what he had to do, but I'm not getting carried away with it. If he fights Prograis next and does it again, or beats Prograis convincingly, then that's a good step up again.
Yeah.
To me, Zepeda is a fighter past his best. He's coming off a loss. Do you know what I mean? So I just struggle to get excited about. Listen, I'm excited about Dalton. I know Dalton's going to be a world champion at some point. I don't doubt that for a second. But Zepeda is just it's. I'm not just gonna get carried away with it because he's a fighter that's past his best for me.
I'll tell you one thing though, Daz, and the other promoters can learn a lot from Eddie Hearn because he's done Ben Shalom up like a kipper regarding this fight with Aziranta.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we had in Mazim is, and listen, I find it's quite refreshing that. So I mean, I haven't heard this said, but I think one of you guys has just mentioned that Ben Shalom said, basically needs 2 or 3 more fights. Adam Azim, or make it in 2 or 3 more fights. He is only going to get better, but so is Dalton.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it'll happen next. I think it's going to be Dalton v Prograis. Which, to be fair, let's be right, it's not a peak Prograis either, is it? Prograis on the slide, but he's a better fighter. He's at a better point than what Zepeda is for me. So it is a step up. It is a step up.
I've got a slightly. I agree with a lot of what you say there, Daz. I've got a slightly different take. Was it Hitchens that beat Zepeda last?
Yeah.
So Hitchens is. If I'm right in thinking, Hitchens is now fighting for final eliminator for a world title shot in his next fight. He didn't do to Zepeda what Dalton Smith just did, and the fight wasn't that long ago. So he wasn't past it in that fight, but now he is. I don't buy it.
No, I'll clarify what I was saying. I've watched him beat Hitchens, and I watched him v Prograis. I've also caught some of his early stuff, and it wasn't just past his best for Dalton Smith. It was past his best for Hitchens. It was past his.
How old is he? Is he 36, 38 somewhere?
I think so. I'm not 100%, but listen, he's been past his best for a good while. But I take your point that Richardson Hitchens couldn't do that to him, but Dalton did. So yeah, listen, I give Dalton his props for that, but I'm not getting carried away with it because Hitchens, Zepeda, who fought Hitchens, and the one before, I think he had a points win before that in between losing to Prograis.
Zepeda's 4 guys, by the way.
Is what, sorry?
34.
Is that?
Yeah.
To me, and this is just an estimate from the timelines I've seen him, I just think he's about 2. He's definitely on the slide. He's definitely on the slide.
I see Prograis is a bit of a gatekeeper for that division now. I think
perfect, mate. I can't argue with that. But Prograis is a better. Listen, this will be if Dalton fights Prograis, then that's a step up again.
Yeah, he's on a higher level, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not disputing that Zepeda wasn't a step up. He was. You know what I mean? That's a given. He was a step up, but it was also a step up. It was. Listen, it's a matchmaker. Matchmakers for Matchroom earn the money. They're good at what they do. Right fight at the right time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree there, Daz. It is the right fight. It was the right fight at the right time. There's no rush. There's no rush for Dalton Smith for me.
No,
I don't think he needs to fight a world level fighter next. I actually think he wants a European title, even though you might think that's a step back from where he's currently at. he wants that title because he wants all the domestics, and then he wants to go the right path.
To be
Let's have
fair,
it right. He better get all his learning done, because once he gets to the top of that division, there's some absolute killers. So he better
exactly. So there's no rush, Carl. So I think he does fight next for the European title, whether that is against Adam Azim or not. And I'll go on record as saying I don't think that Adam Azim or his team would turn the fight down. I think they take it. But I think you're right. I think it was Sean that said it. I don't think Ben Shalom wants it. But Ben Shalom's got Adam Azim wants it. But Ben Shalom's going to have a lot.
He gets knocked out.
Sorry, Jams.
Sorry, mate. And he knows he's got a cash cow in Adam Azim, and he knows Adam Azim will get knocked out by Smith, so he wants to get as much money out of him as he can before he gets done.
I mean, to me,
he's only 21 though, Jams, isn't it?
That's what I mean. He wants to ride him out for a few years, get some money out of him before he gets beat.
Well, you know what though, Jams. Even if Adam Azim loses to Dalton Smith, that's not a step back.
No, but
he'll get a lot of credit, especially if he does depending on how that loss went. If he did lose, depending on how that loss went, if it was a really good fight, he could even go up in stature.
Well, yeah, big fights make big names, make big money.
Miguel Groves comes to mind. They both went on to win a world title, didn't they?
Exactly, yeah.
He's got to. I mean, for a world title. Listen, I like Dalton, and he can be world champion, but he's not beating Devin Haney in a million years.
No, I wouldn't.
And to me, he's not. I don't think he's beating Lopez either. No matter when he gets him, I think so. You've got to look at. I mean, listen, Rolly Romero, is an handful. But then you've got Matias as well, who's an handful. They're both punchers, so they're both fraught with danger. It's like Carl just said. It's at that top level. It's a division of killers.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the best divisions in the game. Yeah, in the sport of boxing.
And don't forget, you've got other fighters floating around as well at lightweight and welter. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, it is going to be hard for him to win a world title, but he can do it. But I just don't think. Listen, I just don't think he'll never beat Devin Haney in a million years.
No.
I mean, the thing is, you never know what's going to happen in the next few years. Devin Haney might not even be in this division.
Yeah, possibly. But then we've got Tank lurking about, haven't we?
Even Ryan Garcia. I know he's not up to the mental case, but he's still not bad boxer.
Listen, that could be a fight down the line. Dalton v Garcia.
I'd like that. I would like that.
I checked the EBU ratings. So if Adam Azim fight is not been made, Jack Catterall is next on the ratings, but it will. And next after that is Sander Martin from Spain, and that's the fight I would like to see.
He's a good fighter.
He's good. Decent.
I think Smith beats Sandor Martin though. He's the one who has to target him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Trouble though. I think Catterall will give him a good scrap. Jack Catterall will give him a good scrap. Dalton Smith. That'd be a decent fight.
I'm going to move on. So let's move on to this one now. Darren's turned up. So we're going to
at least spell the name right.
Oh my day! Yeah, I've just seen if he's awake, Darren. Well spotted. Why I meant that? Do you want to just take it away?
What do you want to know?
Right, I'll do a proper intro for you, Daz.
Good. I deserve that, mate.
First time for everything.
On the 20th of April, Daz Medcast fighting Nicola Hopewell. Now Cole spelt it right. Fights Gemma Rueg for the vacant Fly Commonwealth title. This is at the Magna Centre in Rotherham. It's a real stack card. It's a GBM show. GBM, as we know, are doing massive things with TalkSport as well. This is a real big opportunity for Nick. Daz, first and foremost, when did this fight come about? Was it made for the Commonwealth straight away, or did that come on afterwards?
Yeah, since the fight was going to happen, it's always been for Commonwealth title. It just took a little bit more time to announce. But yeah, listen, Gemma Rueg's been in with everybody. You know, she's been in with everyone, and not just at flyweight. Very tough. Not just at flyweight either.
Clough last time, weren't she?
Yes, mate. She's been in with Maylee's Gango. She's been in with Shannon Courtney, like Super Bantam Feather.
Yeah.
Maisie. Listen, and you know the key point
Chloe
is
Watson.
Yeah, Chloe Watson. And the key point is she's pushed them as well. You know, she's not just gone in there and lost every round.
No.
The thing for me, Daz, is you look at a record. A record don't look great, but it don't do her justice. 7 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. But on them 10 losses, she's not been stopped.
Look at thing is, mate. Look at who she's fought.
Look at the resume.
Exactly that.
Look at who she's fought.
Exactly that. Exactly that, mate. And the fact that none of them have stopped her when she's gone up to Bantam's Super Bantam against Shannon Courtney, who's a big puncher, she couldn't stop her. So it tells you just how tough Gemma Rueg is. So obviously, without giving too much away, Daz, how do you approach the fight?
I've just told Nick to just go in and have a fight with her.
Toe to toe, Daz. Toe to toe.
Yeah, just go in, plant your feet, and have a scrap.
Get the whiteboard out. Let us have a look at these tactics.
If she wants to come back to the corner and have a drink, then fair enough.
Nicola definitely deserves this after the mess about with Dina Forthland. She definitely deserves this crack.
Yeah, it's, listen, thanks to Izzy for putting it on as well. Izzy and
love Izzy, man. GBM guy, he's fantastic.
Yeah, and listen, I'm of the moon for what they've done for Akan as well. I think that's
look why he's going for Tim Cameron.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a class touch, letting Akan go ringside.
Yeah, it is.
It's well deserved. So
one deserves it more than Harkan.
I must cancel my
accreditation. I did bump into Izzy in Sheffield also at ringside.
Does that mean you might actually buy me a pint then, Akan?
Oh, here we go.
I told him this at the watch along the other day. He's got to buy you a pint, Carl.
Well, do you know what, Carl? There's bigger things afoot here than your pint.
No, there's not. No, there's not.
Yeah, you will get your pint in Rotherham.
We'll have a pint in celebration when Nicola lifts her arm up.
Yeah, hopefully. Listen, and do you know what, right? I've said to her, if you stand and and don't do as you're told, and you don't perform, listen, you're in for an hell of a night. An hell of a night.
Let me ask you a question, Dad. I'm going to go there.
Go on then.
So, if Nicola's as good as you think she is, she wins this fight, right? Because with all due respect, it's a long way back to get to this opportunity again. So there's a lot on the line, isn't there?
Listen, if Nicola does what Nicola's capable of, Gemma Rueg doesn't win a round.
Is it a 10-rounder?
You what, mate?
Yeah.
Is it a 10-rounder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no disrespect to Gemma Rueg. I've got all the respect in the world for Gemma.
She's a warrior.
She's got a good story. A good story. She's an hard come up, an hard story. Do you know what I mean? And I respect her full. And listen, I'll be telling her that at the press conferences.
It's got to be Nicola's time, right, Daz? Because she ain't got many more turns, has she? Let's be honest. She's fought tooth and nail to get back to this level.
Yeah. Well,
she's got to take opportunity, right?
Do you know what though, mate? I'll be honest with you. Even contemplating a losing doesn't come into my mind because I know what she's capable of.
Yeah.
But I won't eat. Listen, this is the only time I'm going to say this, to be fair. If she did, it's not the end because then she's probably going to get put in as an opponent with Maisie Rose and she'll turn Maisie Rose over. Who knows? It just, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't think it's not a crossroads thing. She lost to a very good girl in Emma Dolan.
Yeah.
She's at a weight class.
One of the best.
she was out of her weight division. She had an off night. That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Emma had a good, probably her best night as a pro.
By far.
Yet it was still a close fight. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, the line I'm going down is a lot of fighters get a big chance and don't grab it, and then they never get another chance again.
Listen,
and Nick has worked hard to get here. I know that.
Yeah, she's got to take it, and I've no doubt she will. Things that you've all seen her in flesh. She's it looks like there's no honor. The things I've seen that girl do in sparring defy belief. And I've seen her cracked on chin by monstrous punchers who are a stone heavier than her. Granted, she's got an head guard on. Granted, the 14 to 16 ounce gloves. But, she got hit once with a left hook off a girl who's now pro, who was like a stone heavier than her. And listen, first thing I looked at were Nick's legs, because I thought if I seen them wobble, I'm pulling sparring. By the time I'd looked at her legs and then looked up, Nick's pinned her in corner and trying to rip her head off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With her coming late to the pro game, it feels like she's been playing catch up for a majority of her pro career. She deserves to get this fight.
Yeah, listen, let's be honest, mate. She fucking and excuse my French, but she wasted a lot of time with that crap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was. Listen, I'll be brutally honest. She didn't know no better. She didn't know the pro boxing game. She didn't know anything really about it, and she was exploited by an absolute clown of a man. Do you know what I mean? Who, to be fair, mate, it shouldn't be teaching people how to box eggs, let alone people in a boxing ring. It's dangerous. But you just have to look at what she's doing now.
Yeah. I hate being nice to you, Daz. I don't wear these pom poms like Andy does towards you, but I've got to give you credit. I've got to give you credit with the job that you've done with her, because comparing now to what she was when she first turned over, completely different fighter. So don't ask me to be nice to you again, but just take that as it went.
Mate, she's still a work in progress. Her, I mean,
Andy likes to talk about trajectories.
I get what you're saying, definitely. But there's still things that I'm teaching her. Yeah, and to be fair, mate, that's a scary thing, because what she's doing, and there's still things that I need to show her, and need to teach her. You know what I mean? She's far from the finished article, and yet she still does what she does.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest. If she gets the opportunities and she becomes as close to the finished article as she can be, she'll beat any world champions at flyweight, any of them.
Well, this is the first run of the ladder, isn't it? She picks his belt up. Then obviously more.
So I'm gonna back up something Daz said a little bit ago about sparring. I've seen firsthand Nick in sparring against the now European super flyweight champion in Lauren Parker. That spar was better than any female fight I've seen up close and personal. Nick took a couple of shots at clean. I was literally 2 foot away. She took it clean. That right hand. Jeez. And she just, and it didn't even wobble her. She just brushed it off and threw back straight away. Nick's got, I tell you what, she's got some chin.
She don't get hit as much now. I mean, she fought with her face in Bieber, to be fair.
Yeah.
She just fought with her face and threw, mad punches.
Well, that's testament to what you've done since she's been with you, Daz.
No more compliments. No more.
No more. But listen, it's just we work well together. Obviously with Jill, I think her like a little sister. And I want her to, achieve. I want her to go down in history. But listen, nobody from workshops ever won anything like Commonwealth title. Do you know what I mean? So. It means a lot, and she's such a nice, humble girl as well. It's
she is.
But you put her in that ring, and she's listen, Ebony calls her my little savage. You know, listen, I've seen her stand toe to toe with Ebony. Ebony's cracked her on chin, and she just brushes it off.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get it on chin, but let's be realistic. It's boxing. You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
anything else on Nicola before we move on to the boxing show? And probably looking at you.
No, I just wanted to comment on who else is on this GBM show that Nicola's fighting on the 20th of April. Hughie Fury's making his comeback, long awaited. I'm sure it'll be an opponent that won't test him too much. It's fair to say this one, with him being his first one back.
Daz, you've got a bit of Peter Fury going on. You could be a younger version of Peter Fury.
Hey, listen. Look at me. Yeah, I look a bit like a young Peter, don't I?
Yeah.
Listen,
and also,
not, right? When Nick fought Emma Dolan, I was obviously floating around upstairs outside the dressing room, and Kell Brookstad come past me, and he said, "Which one of Furies are you then?" Honestly, true story. He said, "Which one of Furies are you?" I went, "I'm not." He went, "Well, you look like him." I went, "I wish I were one of Furies." Bloody hell, I wouldn't mind being a quid behind him.
I know, yeah.
And also on the card, Shaquille Thompson is fighting for the IBF European and WBO Global. So very, very strong card. Another brilliant show from GBM. They're making big waves, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this card a lot to come to Magna to watch it.
You know what I can, right? I'll do your deal, mate. Nick wins that title. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you to get up them steps and get ring and have a photo with her.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Never offered me an Andy like that, have you, Andy?
You getting up off me, yous.
Anyway, couple of comments in the side. Jack says that Bieber and GBA are dangerous. Jack goes on saying Nicola on debut versus now. Yeah, so goes on saying Nicola's a very different fighter to when she debuted. And that's about that. So moving on to the last topic of the evening before the quiz, Dad. We've got a quiz tonight. Seems we're having a bit of fun for Easter.
A quiz?
Yeah, a quiz.
Oh,
don't put a face like that, celebrity coach. Pushing boundaries on this channel. Pushing boundaries. So, Easter Sunday boxing card with Boxer. Andy, I don't know if you got the full list because I was only going to cover a couple of these.
Of course I have. Of course I have. When do we ever let you down with this?
Well, sort your Wi-Fi out might help us. But anyway.
Well, I'm on there, aren't I? So stop complaining.
Yeah, I can see you peddling. How can it be, right, while we're having a bit of fun, how can it be that Sean's all the way in Sydney in Australia and you're 10 minutes up the road and he's been perfect with his Wi-Fi?
I don't know what I can say, but I haven't got an answer to that one, mate. I don't make Wi-Fi, do I?
While we still got you with audio, I'll let you crack on.
You done talking now? Can I get on with my job?
Well, it sounds like you got a bit of a delay, so just hurry up. Right.
Okay, let's start bottom of the card then. We'll go with Alan Babich, Steve Robinson. This is a bit of a nightmare for me. This fight. It's a bit of a show. It's probably going to last about 30 seconds, one way or the other. I'm not impressed with Babich. I haven't been impressed with him for a while, and Steve Robinson is really poor. That's my take.
Is that the Ivan Drago geezer?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, what's all that about?
Go on, Carl. What's your take on that one?
Well, Babich has obviously finished his gallivanting at Bridger weight, hasn't he? That ridiculous weight that only WBC seem to endorse. He got hammered, didn't he, by the champion? I forget his name now.
Rosansky,
who's an awful fighter as well. That's why Tony Bellew is talking about jumping in with him. But Steve Robinson as well, with all due respect to the fight, limited. I'd use the word limited. It's a toss of a coin, this one, if I'm honest with you, about who lands first, I'd probably suggest. But I think Babich will probably beat him because he's got that come forward fighting style, which only pays off against limited opponents who can't move and get out of the way. So I'll go for Babbage round 7.
Hakan?
I'm going for Savage stoppage round 3.
Darren, Birmingham Darren, how are you, pal? Come on then.
Yeah,
what's yours?
I'm all right, thanks. I don't think it's going to be pretty at all. I think it's going to be two sluggers in the pub car park throwing bombs at each other. If I was going to pick a winner, I'd probably, for facing the slightly better opposition up to now, I'd probably say Babbage lands first and 4 rounds.
Sean, what's your take?
Yeah, like you all said, it's not the best of fights, but I think Babbage will win. Interesting to see that he's trained by Pascal Collins now, isn't he? So I don't know if that'll have any input in the fight, but I think Babbage in about 3 or 4.
Probably not.
No, I agree not. Jams?
For me, mate, it's a pathetic fight. It's none of them are that good. Neither really need to be seeing, but I would go Alan the Savage Babbage knockout within 4.
And you, last of all, does you?
Pretty much same, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much same.
Okay, moving swiftly on then. Yeah, well, it's one of them that's probably just going to be entertaining because they're just going to be swinging. Let's have it right. Right, okay. Ben Whittaker makes his 7th fight as a pro. He's going in against... What?
No, I'm just a bit bored, that's all, at Whittaker.
Ben Whittaker is going in against Leon Willins, who is currently the light heavyweight Central Area champion. So if you look at Ben's opponents up to now, this is definitely his best. Should this guy give Ben Whittaker any trouble? In my opinion, no. But Leon Willins apparently is a bit of a showboater himself. So this might be a little bit interesting for a couple of rounds. Daz, I'll come to you. Daz, Metcalf, come to you first, mate.
Listen, I like Ben Whittaker. I'm warming to him. I am, honestly. I'm warming to him.
Yeah,
and I've been watching bits of them, clips of the antics he does, and listen. While I'm not overly keen on him and stuff, I just. Listen, I look at his ability and I think, this kid's a bit tasty, and he's not going to be doing that against top class fighters. He won't do it, listen, I'll be honest, he shouldn't be doing it against the fighters he's doing now, but he is, but when he turns it on and gets serious, it's hard not to be impressed by him. Very hard not to be impressed by him, and he seems like a really nice kid as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I think someone needs to have a little bit of word in his ear, though, Daz. I think he's a bit disrespectful at times, but that's just my take on it.
I think after, from what you hear from him after the fight and before, maybe not so much before, but what you hear after the fight, he's nothing but respectful.
No, yeah, I agree. But in the ring, what I'm talking about, he don't need to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he don't. But Naz did things, didn't he? That people frowned at. I mean, listen, I had one last week. Perry Howe, he did one, obviously at a much lower level. I always say, and I said this to Perry when he come back to corner last week. I said, listen, if you're going to do that, make it because of a reason. Give it some substance, and work off it. I don't think Whittaker does it really for that, even though he throws punches off him. It's not really to unlock an opponent, is it? Because he can unlock him anytime he wants.
Yeah.
He
does it to them. Yeah, I'd be a lot more impressed if he went in and just used his skills, boxed behind his jab, broke him down, and that was that. I don't think he needs to make him, listen, let's be real. He's not trying to unlock him, is he? Because they're defensively great. He stops them anytime he wants. So
Exactly that. Right, Jams. Obviously, we'll run through these fairly quickly. Jams, breakdown of how the fight goes.
Yeah, for me, mate, I think Whittaker's just going to make a fool of him. Leon Willings, he's only lost once, but he's not fought at any kind of level. I think Whittaker does what he does, showboats, shows off, shows him up, shows him out the ring with a knockout, round 4.
Sean?
Yeah, I agree. The thing with Whittaker, though, is we know he's levels above his opponents, so I don't understand why he does it, really. But he reminds me a bit of James DeGale in that sense. But I agree. I think he'll win fairly early, round 3 or 4.
Darren?
As you know, I love Ben Whittaker. I love what he does. I love the confidence. I've got no problem with it. Like Daz said earlier, Naz done it.
Where's he from, Dad? Where's he from?
Sorry?
Wolverhampton.
Leave it out. No, I'm all for it, but I know it's controversial. But in this fight, I don't know whether because of his criticism of what he's had before of the showboating, I'll look at this fight. Maybe he doesn't do any and gets the guy out early. I don't know. I'd probably go. I think he should get him out there in 3 or 4 rounds. Not a problem.
Hakan?
I have nothing against the showboating too, and one of the reasons for that is I was at the last fight at the Boazi Aziz card with Ben Whittaker. I had a pretty good seat so I did a reel on Instagram and Facebook, and I got a lot of views from so. But I think for the fight now that that Ben Whittaker wins a stoppage round 5.
Carl?
I ain't giving him no airtime, so I think he'll win in round 3.
You're not a fan, Carl?
I just don't. I think his poor taste does. I wouldn't mind him doing it as he goes. I think there's a line, and I think he crosses it. I'm all for a bit of showmanship. I'm all for a bit of like I said, showmanship. But there's a line, and I think he disrespects his opponents, which I don't.
Yeah, I have to echo what Carl says. I love the fact that he's as skillful as he is, and he shows the angles and he makes fighters miss and all of that. But when he's made a fighter miss, he don't need to do the daft dance to make the fighter look stupid. Yeah, he knows he's better than his opponents. That's what annoys me. He knows he's levels above the guys he's in with. The guy he's in with is there to give him rounds. He's doing a job. Yet Ben Whittaker feels the need to show him up. And in my opinion, that's just bad taste.
Let's see him do it when he gets people, then we can give him respect.
I look forward to the day when he gets knocked out, because he will.
Yeah, just like Naz got found out.
Oh,
Carl, I have to disagree. Carl. I have to disagree, Carl. I don't think he will get knocked out. I think he'll be world champion. He's that good.
No, he'll jump in. It'll be that one fighter who's got a bit of a punch on him. When he finally does get in with an active opponent, which takes boxer probably about 5 years.
Mate,
he'll meet his Kevin Kelly, mate.
Mate, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna. I mean, by the time he gets up to world level, I think Beterbiev's, maybe Bivol's are going to be gone.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's there for him to be a world champion. I really do.
Someone will clean him out.
Mate, I don't think they will. Honestly, I think the kid's going all the way, and he's going to be I think he's going to go down as one of our best ever.
Wow.
Are
you trying to put me off my Easter eggs?
No, honestly, mate, Carl, you can't deny it. The kid is talented.
He's unbelievable.
I've never said he's not talented. I've never said he's not talented. Clearly is. But I just think.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you.
Fight where he gets caught.
But listen, I know they said that with Naz, right? But let's be fair. Kevin Kelly was a banger, a proper banger, right? He hit Naz with bombs, didn't knock him out. Naz had a chin like granite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? listen, if Ben Whittaker's got a chin like that, then light heavyweights for next 10 years could be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on the antics. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I think strip that away, and I think you've got to just ask yourself, if he came into the ring and just did what he did, none of this silly dancing and chucking his leg up in the air and punching, looking out other way, and he would just dealing with people, we'd be raving about him, mate.
Yeah, we would, yeah.
A long time.
The thing is, I quite like the kid when he's talking out the ring.
That's what I mean.
A very humble kid.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of having to sort of just try and ignore what he does. I mean, listen, I'm very surprised that Sugar Hill sort of stands for it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't. I'd be telling him to pack it in. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't need to do it. But listen,
antagonising people, isn't it? It's antagonising and rubbing them up the wrong way.
Yeah, but it's also a case of look what we're doing. We're talking about him, aren't we?
Yeah,
exactly that. I was just about to say, when was the last time? When was the last time there was a fighter in world boxing that created so much diversion in
British boxing, mate? It were. I mean, you're talking Eubank Senior, and then obviously Naz.
Eubank and Naz, and that's it.
Maybe James DeGale to a slight extent, but he was nowhere near the same sort of class.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, we're all going to watch him, aren't we?
That's it. Love him or hate him, we're all watching.
Yeah,
isn't it? He's got eyes on the game. He's going to bring money.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I think he'll settle it down at some point. I really do.
I hope he does.
Right, boys.
Yeah.
Moving on, boys, to the next fight, and probably the first proper fight of the night. Vidal Riley against Mikel Laurel. What a fight this is. I mean, Vidal Riley's come out of nowhere, really, but proved himself, hasn't he? He's proved himself. And am I right in thinking Mikel Laurel's not fought for like 2.5 years?
No, he lost to Isaac Chamberlain on points.
When was that?
Last year.
Last fight, last year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've read that wrong then.
Howdy.
That's the only fight he's lost, though, right?
Yeah. He lost to you, dude. Yeah.
Very interesting, this fight. Carl, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I like Vidal Riley. He's getting a bit more, taken a bit more seriously, apart from being KSI's trainer, which he'd been trying to shake off.
Yeah.
This is a very, very good fight, isn't it? I don't think there's much in it in terms of levels, if I'm honest. I think Vidal Riley's just a little bit fresher, though, so I'm leaning towards Vidal Riley. And I think it'll be a points win. I think this goes long, this one. So I'll go for Vidal Riley to win on points.
Hakan?
I see Vidal Riley on a late stoppage.
Okay. Darren, Aston?
I would probably head towards a very close fight, but I'll probably just give the edge to Vidal Riley. I don't think there's going to be a stoppage in this fight, even though they're both decent enough punchers. I think it will go quite long. So I think they'll cancel each other.
Have your own thoughts, Darren. Jeez, have your own thoughts.
I think they'll. I think they might cancel each other out a little bit in this. But yeah, close points win for Vidal Riley.
Jams?
Carl's going to love this then. I agree with Darren. I think Lowell comes out and has a pop at him. Vidal makes him work hard, slips and slides, and takes it on points. Majority decision.
Sean?
Yeah, I think Vidal Riley wins as well. But let's not forget, once upon a time, he was quite highly thought of in Team GB. So he's got a bit of a pedigree behind him in that regard. And I think he'll win on points.
Daz?
I'll be different. I think Riley wins by late stoppage.
Okay.
I cancelled that.
All right, then. I think he wins by early stoppage.
Fix it up
This
a
is
bit.
this is a very
early in 10th round.
this is a very interesting fight, and this is a real test for Riley because it's his first. This is by far his toughest opponent. His first real big challenge. Sink or swim time for me. For Riley, is he as good as we think he might be? Lowell punches, 11 knockouts out of his 17 wins. I'm going to book the trend here. I'm going to say that it's a points win for Lowell. Okay, moving on very quickly. This one, lads, very quickly. Callum Simpson's back after being out for a while. Bit of a test with a very, very experienced fighter in Mbappe. Very quickly, does.
Me.
Yeah, your does.
Well, so is he.
Yeah.
No, he's Darren.
He ain't got the nut yet, as he does.
No. Yeah, I like Callum Simpson. Good fighter. I think he'll win this fairly comfortable. To be fair, he's only thing is, I mean, he was knocking a lot of people out, weren't he, early on?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just always worries me when people
9 KOs out of 13 wins, mate.
Yeah, when people are banging people out all the time, they get a bit like puncher happy. But I think he's a good fighter, Callum. Yeah, I think he can definitely, you know, be European champion and maybe more.
Okay, Sean.
Yeah, I think Simpson's a good fighter. I think he'll win on stoppage and just to shake the cobwebs off.
Jams?
I've got Simpson 8th and 9th, mate. Knockout.
Darren? The other Darren?
I obviously think Callum Simpson will win, but I actually think this guy is very durable and might take him the distance. He hasn't been stopped that many times, and I think he's durable enough to take Callum Simpson the distance.
Yeah, it's only been stopped twice in his career.
Yeah, so I think he's durable. I think he wins on points. Yeah.
Oh, he can bang.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's had out of his 34 wins, Jams, he's had 29 knockouts, so he can punch.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a bigger Isaac Dogbo. He comes out really putting it on you. So it's either getting him before he gets you normally.
Yeah.
But Simpson's not. I think he'll do all right.
Callum Simpson dominating points win.
Carl?
Simpson round 7.
I think Callum Simpson is the best super middleweight we've got. And I think he'll prove it in this fight. I think he gets. I think it's a bit of a shootout. I think Jams is right, but I think Simpson stops him. I'm going to go mid rounds, and I think he goes on, wins British, wins European. Whether he can go any further than that, the division's not very strong either. I think he's right up there. I think he will be right up there. A little bit more experience though. Okay. Moving on to what is a very, very, very interesting fight. Florian Marcoux against Chris Congo. What a fight this is. Carl, come to you first.
Yeah, they got similar records, haven't they? You know, similar stage of the career. Something tells me that Chris Congo is going to beat him. I've just fancied Chris Congo. Marco, I've not been overly impressed with in recent performances. He lost that fight in Albania for me. I think he lost it. So I'm going to go Congo to win on points.
Hakan?
I believe Florian Marcoux win on stoppage, late stoppage, round 9-10.
Darren, Florian Marcoux is now at Steel City. Everything that happens at Steel City seems to turn to gold at the minute.
Yeah, I really like this fight. I think it's going to be very, very close. If I'm going to pick a winner, I'd probably edge towards Florian Marku on points because I think he'll be more the aggressor in the fight, which will turn the judges more his way. I'd say more than Congo, who will try and box more, whereas I think Marku will edge it with being the aggressor in the fight.
Sean?
I agree with Kyle. I think Chris Congo will win. I think Marku's almost a bit of a one-trick pony and relies too much on his power. But I think Congo's got the better boxing skills, and I think Congo will outbox him.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, mate. Jams, what's your take?
I reckon, mate, Marku's going to dominate the early rounds, but Congo's going to take him out late. 8th or 9th round knockout for Congo.
Wow, okay. Daz?
I think other way for Marco. I think Mark Florian's going to stop him in 6 or 7.
Wow, okay. See, I'm a bit torn here because Chris Congo starts fights well, but in my opinion, he fades. He faded against Echo. He didn't look great in them late rounds. He should have won that fight. And he gave it away, in my opinion. If he does that again, he'll get stopped by Florian Marku late on. So that's what I'm going to go for. Late stoppage, Marku. Okay, moving on to the headline, which I've been tossing and turning on this one, lads. It's
that sounds a bit right. Been tossing
wow.
Of it main event.
I tell you what, lads. It's just your perverted minds, that, isn't it? Typical for this show.
What are you saying?
Right, obviously.
I better mark this video not for kids, answer when I put it on YouTube.
obviously, Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke for the British Commonwealth heavyweight titles. Bit of background here. So obviously, for people that don't know, that have been living under rocks for a couple of years, Fabio Wardley comes from a white-collar background. He's 17-0 with 16 knockouts as a pro. Frazer Clarke comes from a massive history of ABAs, done everything, been everywhere in the world. He's currently 8-0 as a pro with 6 knockouts. Daz Metcalf, take it away.
It's a very good fight. Very good fight. I'm intrigued. To see it. I'm warming to Fabio Wardley. The more I hear him speak, the more I like him.
Yeah.
Seems like a really nice kid. The more I see him fight, the more I like him. Don't get me wrong, Frazer seems a nice lad as well. And I just think that Fabio's done this white collar, and I just think he's proper applied himself to professional boxing. He's proper applied himself to learn the game, and he's still a work in progress, isn't he? Obviously. I must admit, I'm not been overly impressed by Frazer Clarke. I saw him fight better as an amateur than I've seen him, as a pro.
Excuse me.
I fancy Fabio Wardley stopping him. Fancy Fabio Wardley taking him out around 8 or 9. Whether that's like a clean stoppage or whether it's damage, an injury, caused by Fabio's punches, I don't know. But I just listen. I like Fabio Wardley. I'm starting to warm to him, and I think he stops Frazer Clarke.
Jams, is it fair to say that Fabio Wardley has to be favourite in this fight because of his more experience as a pro fighter?
No, mate. I'd say the opposite. I'd say Frazer Clarke should be the favourite because of his background in boxing, whereas obviously Fabio's more of a banger with his white collar experience. But if you look at paper, mate, through the amateurs and that, Frazer Clarke should be walking this man. But for me, and with Daz Metcalf, I think Fabio's going to take the guy out late on, 8 to 10. I just think Wardley's just another level of animal, you know what I mean? And he's just going to get to him and he's going to do damage that shouldn't really happen because Frazer Clarke should be able to dominate this fight from start to finish with his boxing skill set. But he won't because he's going to let his heart rule his head and he's going to get knocked out because of it.
Sean, do you agree with what Jams has just said?
Yeah, I do. I think Fabio Wardley wins. I think with Frazer Clarke, I think there's an argument to make he stayed amateur for a bit too long and he's turned pro a bit too late, in my opinion, because I haven't really been impressed with him. Not like I have with the other Olympians, at least. And I think Fabio Wardley, I think he's too young, too powerful. And I actually think he might get him inside the first 6 rounds.
Darren, Fabio Wardley seems to have to take one on the chin before he turns, that switch turns in his head. Bit dangerous, isn't it, when you're an heavyweight?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the one thing I look at for this fight is the preparation. I mean, Frazer Clarke, he's going in with a guy like Fabio Wardley who lets his hands go. He's a decent puncher. And Frazer Clarke's been in with Marius Vac and Dave Allen, who stand there, are slow, absorb punishment. And it's the total opposite of Fabio Wardley. So I think the preparation that Frazer Clarke's had for this fight isn't ideal at all. And I think when the push comes to shove and the grit between your teeth's needed, I feel like Fabio Wardley's going to show it more than Frazer Clarke. So my prediction would be, I think Fabio's going to stop him probably 6 to 9.
Hakam?
I see it as Darren Aston for Fabio Wardley. So I go for stoppage round 6 for Wardley.
And last of all, Carl, I know you've not been a fan of Fabio Wardley over the years.
I'm going Frazer Clarke.
I thought you might say that.
I just think Wardley's got a mistake in him. I know I keep saying this fight after fight. He's going to get found out eventually. He's a limited fighter for me. And I think Frazer Clarke just hasn't demonstrated how good he is yet. He's still getting accustomed to the pro ranks, in my opinion. I think there's going to be there's a performance in him somewhere. I've always fancied Frazer Clarke ever since the fight was announced, so I'm not going to change my mind now. I think Frazer Clarke is going to stop him in about round 9.
Good odds on that,
Wow.
Yeah, actually, when you see a fight, lads, you just fancy one fight more than the other. That's where I am with it. I just fancy.
I'm gonna have a look at the odds on that while I'm on here now. See what I bet that's good odds on that.
Yeah, we don't. Gamble responsibly.
So I'm in two minds here. My brain says that Frazer Clarke, as Jams has said, Frazer Clarke should be levels and levels above Wardley because of his experience. But the problem is, he's not come into the pro ranks and done anything. He's struggled. He's struggled against Sokolowski. He's struggled against Wack. He's struggled against Dave Allen. He's not looked dynamic in any of them fights.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Wardley comes out and blasts everybody away. I know he takes a shot. I think he likes that. I think that's part of him. I think he likes to take a shot. It does wake him up. For me, this goes one or two ways. Frazer Clarke either makes the fight really, really boring, and he tries to old man Wardley and stay away and sneak one on points. I just don't think he can do it for 12 rounds. I think it's too late in his career. He's left it too long to become a pro. I like Frazer Clarke, though. He's a real nice fella, very respectful. But unfortunately, he's coming up against somebody that is a very, very dynamic puncher. Fabio Wardley knocks him out in round 8.
I feel like Frazer sold the fight well as well. I do. I think they both played a part, but I think Frazer's played a massive part in selling this fight well.
Yeah.
I do. Great bit of needle in it.
Yeah, it is. It's a brilliant fight. It's a brilliant, brilliant fight. Carl, take it away for your little magic.
Yeah, so let's have a bit
quiz.
of fun for one. Seeing it's bank holiday, we got Good Friday and plenty of alcohol being drank. So I put a little bit of a few audio clips together. Now, the way we're going to do it, so eyes down looking, because I don't have to keep explaining myself. I'm going to play the clip twice. So it's only about 5 seconds long. I ain't going to give the answers on the show. I want you to put your answers in the comments box below. So anybody who's watching this on record can also join in, okay? Do we all understand?
Well, we do, but I'm doing this on my phone, mate. If I move my phone, it's going to go all over the place. So
you haven't got to do it now, have you? You can do it after the show's ended. Let's keep it simple. So
okay,
I'll play.
I'm going to get a pen and a bit of paper ready then. Go on.
Oh, don't take it so serious. It's a bit of fun.
No, it's not. It's serious. I have to win.
Well, you don't win at anything else. I won't get fucking any ideas.
Hey, steady on.
Right. Are we all ready? Put your hand up if you're ready. Sean, you ready? Darren's looked like he's doing his coupon on Saturday afternoon. Right, here we go. First one.
Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but are you... What? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you.
Did we all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play again.
Thank you, man. I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but are you... What? Thank you.
All good, Daz?
Yes, I'm printing comments, am I?
No. But after the show's finished.
All right, yeah.
Finished. Jeez.
Go on then.
Number 2.
I'm from Northern Ireland. That's what I would say. Can't have a Northern Irish passport, but if you could, that's what I would have. You're.
That's an obvious.
I didn't mean to post that.
The majority of these are easy, just the odd one. So number 3.
Check me. Fact check. Otherwise, yeah, I guess if someone was telling me.
Easy. Yeah. Next one, you ready, guys?
I don't know, just Matchroom. I know Andrew's let Matchroom know that.
I hope these are getting harder.
Look, Daz is a couple that are difficult. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yep.
When it comes to alcohol, like one's too many for me,
right,
and 1,000's not enough.
Was it like?
All good?
Paul gives an odd one.
Yeah, well, there's one coming up in a minute. I've thrown a couple of hard ones in there. I thought I'd be kind because I know I'm amongst casuals.
Oh.
Yeah, massive opportunity. It's a hard fight. Zolf is a really good fighter, but I believe isn't.
And remember, it's not all about you lot on the screen. It's about everybody. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder who that were.
Don't be giving no clues away, celebrity coach. Right, this one, really listen to it. This one, because this took some digging. You ready?
Joe Gonzaga.
Why Joe?
Because I wasn't there for the wall fight. It wasn't me alone.
Play that one again. I didn't really hear that.
Joe Gonzaga.
Why Joe?
Because I wasn't there for the wall fight. It wasn't me.
I know who that is. Come on, you got to give harder than that.
Don't be so smug and have a look what you put in the comments afterwards.
I didn't even hear it. I still didn't hear it.
What? I know we've got to put them in comments, but I forgot first one already.
Well, I'll play it again in a minute then. This is hard work, this, isn't it? Or you can just watch it back on the replay, Daz.
I ain't got time for that, mate. I've got the celebrity stuff.
You got bags of time. Do you want me to play that one more time, Andy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Put you in near the phone for crying out loud. I know you're getting old.
Joe Gonzaga.
Why Joe?
Because I wasn't there for the wall fight. It wasn't me.
I'm not playing it again. Right, the others dads are quite sophisticated and not very difficult. So here we go. Next one.
Well, I remember when Lennox Lewis and me and Lennox are good people, good friends. But the thing is, when I seen him get knocked out, the first time he got knocked,
So that's not the greatest audio, but I had to dig for that person.
How many is the 10?
So so I've got 2 more to go. 1 more to go. 1 more. This is the last one. No, 2 more. You're getting mixed up now, Daz. 2 more.
Sorry, mate.
That was number 8, wasn't it?
It was number 8, Andy. Yeah, thank you for the maths. Number 9.
But you know, my timing was off a little bit, and but you know, my timing was off a little bit, and
Easy.
Let's see what you put in the comments.
That's easy, that one.
Right,
So
last
we all
one.
have to...
Let's see what you get on this one. Last one. You ready?
Say this, I'm a guy who loves people. I'm an American. I'm a people guy. I'm a promoter of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Do you know that one, Dad? Medcom,
so.
do that?
That's the only
Play
one
again,
I
Carl.
don't know.
Play again, Carl.
Play it again.
Say this, I'm a guy who loves people. I'm an American. I'm a people guy. I'm a promoter of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Yeah, I think I know who that is.
And that's it. So, anyone who watches this on record, post your comments in the comments box regarding who they are. And what we'll do, if we do a show after Sunday night, I'll reveal it then. Or if not, I'll reveal the answers next Thursday live on the show. Medcalf, I've just seen your comment.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't mean to post it. Is it right though?
No comment.
I thought we were doing it as we were going.
No worries. We got there in the end. Okay, that's the 10 questions. Just to reiterate one more time, post your answers in the comments box below and we'll either reveal it Sunday after the card if we come on live or next Thursday. Andy, I'll hand it back to you to take that.
Great show again, guys. It's wonderful having you boys on. You all bring a different take. You all have different perspective on fights. It's fantastic to get different comments. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks to everyone in the sidebar for your comments. We do this every single Thursday, 7 o'clock. This has been Last Bell Boxing, sponsored by LW Liftings and S&C Travel. We'll see you again next Thursday. Thanks for joining us.
Happy Easter.